love of 15 years has passed. We buried it deep and firm in Vinai. Back then people numbered in thousands more, but the one I love is you in Vinai.
You know, some of the most powerful stories aren't in books or movies, they're in songs. And today, we're going to dive into a Hmong ballad that tells a story of a love so deep, so profound, it's meant to conquer not just life, but death itself. It's a tale of devotion, of loss, and a promise made for all of eternity. Let's get into it.
So the song kicks off with this line, and wow, it just hits you, right? It immediately tells us two massive things. First, this wasn't some quick fling. We're talking about a love with a 15-year history. And second, that love isn't just over. It's been intentionally, carefully preserved, almost like burying a sacred treasure.
All right, so let's start where they did, by really understanding the foundation of this incredible connection.
15 years. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's not just a number on a page. That's a whole story in itself. It represents a life shared, thousands of moments, a bond that's been forged and tested over a huge chunk of time. It gives this whole thing an incredible amount of weight right from the start.
Okay, so the song talks about this place called Vinai, and you might be thinking, where is that? Well, here's the thing. It's not a spot on a map. Think of it more like a conceptual space, almost like a sacred vault that the lovers created just for their promises and their history. It's the one place where their love can live on forever, even when they can't.
And then you get this line, which I think just perfectly captures the whole thing. It wasn't about who was around or who was convenient. In a world literally full of thousands of other people, they only saw each other. It was a choice. That tells you everything you need to know about how intense and focused their devotion was.
So they had this incredibly deep connection, right? But it didn't stop there. They decided to seal it with a promise, and not just any promise. They took it to a whole other level.
See, they prayed to heaven about it. This wasn't just them making a promise to each other in a quiet room. No, they were calling on a higher power to be both a witness and a guardian of their love. That makes their commitment binding in a way that goes way beyond just the two of them. And get this, these are the actual words of that vow. They are so absolute. The only way their love is allowed to end is with death, and even then, it has to happen in each other's arms. I mean, talk about an unbelievably powerful statement of belonging. They were promising that nothing in this life could ever pull them apart.
But, as we all know, life doesn't always follow the script. Despite this powerful heaven-bound vow, something happens, a tragic separation. And this is really the core conflict of the whole song.
What I find really interesting is how this song explains why they parted. It makes a point to tell us everything it wasn't. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't one of them messing up, it wasn't family getting in the way, or a loss of faith. This is huge because it tells us they were torn apart by something totally outside of their control. It was just fate. And this is where the heartbreak really hits you. Look at this. On one side, you have their sacred promise, die in my arms alone. And on the other, the brutal reality. You went to wedding. The gap between those two ideas is just immense. It's the entire tragedy. Their earthly promise was broken, and not by choice.
And you can just feel the devastation in this line. In this world, right here and now, it's over. It's final. From the speaker's point of view, the person they love is gone, forever.
But hold on, because this is where the story takes a fascinating, almost supernatural turn. Faced with this impossible loss on Earth, they refuse to just let it go. Instead, they create a brand new promise, one that plays by a whole different set of rules.
They've forged this new pact, one that goes beyond the physical world. And it has three incredible parts to it. A heart that will never rot, meaning their love won't decay with time or death. Blood that will never dry. Their passion will stay just as real forever. And, maybe the most important part, a spirit that will wait for all eternity. It's a guarantee that they will be reunited.
And this is what ties the whole story together. Remember Vinai, that symbolic place where they buried their earthly love? Well, it's back. Now it becomes the meeting point for their spirits in the afterlife. Their vow has basically evolved. It's like they're saying, if we can't be together in this life, fine.
Our souls will be together in the next. So after all that, the love, the vow, the heartbreak, the supernatural pact, what are we left with? What's the song really about at its core?
I think the real heart of it is this incredible resilience. When the physical world makes their promise impossible, they don't just give up. They find another way. They create a spiritual plan where their love can't just survive, it can become eternal. In the end, their belief in this new promise becomes even more powerful than the fact that they're physically apart.
And that's what this whole ballad leaves us to think about, really. It kind of challenges you to consider the promises you make and what it means for something to be so powerful that it's meant to last longer than a single lifetime.
Not because of you, not because of me, not fate, not mother, not father above. You go ahead, leave me behind in pain. You went to wed him, so I wed her too in tears. Now I have lost you forever, left with one heart that never rots, blood never dries. If one day one of us dies first someday, let the spirit go and wait at Vinai forever.